As you know, the big part of our life is relationship, and big part of relationship is compatibility. If that is great, then the marriage is going on. And I am always saying that this compatibility is going in two directions. One is the karmic and the other is the psychological. And I was doing mainly the compatibility based on the one big part, which is the Lagna compatibility. So in this, we are seeing how the Lagna and Lagna Lord is placed in both charts, and then we are determining the psychological compatibility. And for a big time, it was the main thing for the compatibility, but also my compounding experience was telling me that there are many pairs which don't have this compatibility and they are going well, right? So I was talking with Guruji about this, and there is one more important factor to it which you cannot miss. So let's roll the intro and let's find out what it is. When it comes to astrology, we have that deterministic part, and there are many methods for that. I think the most popular one is the Upapada matching. It means that if your Upapada is an airy signs, then your partners will have airy ascendant. If it's in fiery signs, then we are also looking at the Trikona. So your ascendant of your partner will be fiery, right? We have many more. We have also something which was taught by Sandraji, the Titi type of the compatibility. So what will be your future spouse Titi based on your chart, right? And this is very interesting. Just like Upapada, we can differentiate between the first partner, second partner, third partner, and so on. So knowing the planets, which can be potential because it's not one, but it can be like 2 or 3. But there may be a situation when the TT of that potential partner is not following that group. So based on that, we can exclude that karmically. It shows that this partner will not be your spouse. So we have Upapada, we have this TT, and also we have a few more based on the position of the moon or the name, and there are many methods to ascertain if that potential partner can be your spouse. But this is all more like a karmic thing, right? The interesting part is the psychology, and here we are also having this division. I was for a long time going with that first thing, which is the Lagna compatibility. So in this, we are comparing the ascendant between the two people. If they are in Kendra or 311, this is very good. 5 and 9, this is maybe new for many people, is not the best because it can invite this teacher-student, this hierarchical type of relationship is not always good. And of course, the worst is the Dushtana, right? Then we say that there is this mismatch between the personalities because the ascendant and the ascendant lord is showing how you behave, your awareness, your decisions, how you go through this world, right? So if there is mismatch, then we can see that something will go wrong. And with months and years, this can ultimately lead to divorce. Of course, also if the chart shows, right? Because again, with the separation and divorce, we will have that psychological part and deterministic part. For example, if your 8th house is very strong in Rashi and Navamsha, even if the marriage is horrible, it will be very hard to divorce, right? It can be a situation like the children, like many people want to get out of the relationship, they want divorce, even both of the parties, but there is something other factor, like other circumstance. It could be like children, it could be parents, it could be a financial situation, many obligations, common obligations, which are holding the marriage together. So also situations like that occur when the 8th house is saying, no, you will not get out from this deal, from this agreement, right? Just small reminder, if you like to have a consultation with me on the Zoom 60 to 90 minutes when we are going through your chart and deciphering all those combinations, the yogas with the dashas and remedies, then you can find the link in the description. Also, we have opened a new website for the courses. The link is also there below, and there is also the discount now, 20% till 2nd November. So you can find this all below. But there is one more important factor, which is showing that even if the compatibility between the ascendant is not so good, still you can have successful marriage, or you can be a successful couple, right? Just one more distinction. The ascendant compatibility is usually for 12 months. After 12 months, we are going to the ascendant Lord compatibility. So then you are looking for the relationship between the Lords of ascendant, right? This is very good because if you will see, if you know your planet in your chart, then you can see which other planets are badly placed from your ascendant, and then you will see which other ascendants are not good match for you, right? Let's say you are Cancer Lagna, so a lot of Cancer is the moon. You see which planets are badly placed from that moon. It could be like Jupiter, right? Jupiter could be in 6 or 8 or 12 from the moons, and then you know, oh, Sagittarius and Pisces, I will not have such good compatibility with these people, right? So this is something very important. I was always saying, and I was also taught that this is the main component of the compatibility. We are using that very much, right? Of course, many of people who are going into the Vedic astrology, they are presented with that point system, right? Ashtakuta, there are many types of how we are adding all those different point type systems. We are not using that much. Of course, each point will have a specific relation to angles of our life, but that whole number system doesn't reflect the situation so good. So we have a different system, which are also more tailored to the current modern type of relationships, right? So we have to know exactly what we are analyzing, what we are testing, and what parts of our life these various rules and methods are referring to, right? So this ascendant and ascendant lord is very important because this is the core of the personality. But as said, there is even stronger point, or an equally strong point, which we cannot ignore, and that is the moon compatibility. And that was really revealing because I have checked all those couples when these ascendant or ascendant lord were not matching good, but then in all of them, the moon position were excellent. So one person may have moon in Capricorn, the other person has moon in Cancer, 1-7, right? According to Prashna Marga, this 1-7 is beautiful. So because of that, even if there is some personality mismatch, there is a strong resilience. Both people want to thrive together. There may be something keeping them on the spiritual or the views point, right? Like I'm always saying that what is keeping couple together, two people together, often is that they have very similar point of view, right? So political views, ethical views, like they are both supporting some type of living. They have a similar attitude on life, but especially the views, right? The outlook on life. If that is common, if that is compatible, then this is a big win, we could say, because that is like the very deep thing. It's like a soul, right? So there is also something like Atmakaraka compatibility, how the Atmakaraka are, how they are placed to each other, right? And then we have this personality thing, right? So this is the, we could say, how you are behaving, your reaction, right? Like this is this personality compatibility, also very important. It doesn't mean that two people have to be same or similar, but somehow they must match, right? So the signs and the planets are, the system is so well built that you can see which signs, which types of, or which archetypes, like the animals, there are also animals, so you will be one type of animal, which animal are working together nicely. They may be totally different, like one person may be very extrovert, the other may be introvert, but they still can work very nicely, right? But as I said, there is this one thing more, the moon compatibility, which you cannot ignore, right? Because sometimes you may have a good Lagna or Lagna Lord compatibility, but when that moon is lacking, you may give up too early, right? You don't have that resilience. Also, reverse, the Ascendant Lord can be badly placed, but if the moon and the moon dispositors also, because we can also take the lords, this is part of Graha Maitram in that traditional system, which is taught in Muhurta texts like Muhurta Chintamani and in the Prashna Marga. This Graha Maitram then is there, and this is keeping both people very strong together. They want to be together somehow, right? Based on the moon principle. So I was ignoring that for a long time because I was just thinking, oh, and not only me, but also my colleagues, we were thinking, oh, this moon is more about society. So this moon compatibility was more in those time when that family was very important in the marriage. Now it's not so. Now we are more going in that ultra individual type of relationship. So Lagna is the king, right? But it turns out that there is other karaka of the moon, which is our mind, which is the resilience, right? I always say that moon is the society, which is the external, and also the manas, which is internal, right? So this mind component of the moon is very important, and this is the resilience, right? So don't worry if you don't have this Ascendant and Lord compatibility, then you still may go together if you have moon compatibility. So that was nice eureka or find out moment that I've seen that in all those couples who didn't have this Ascendant Lord compatibility, they all had very strongly compensation from that moon compatibility. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. If you'd like to learn more about astrology of relationship, then please consider watching this one.